Okay, this is a supplemental to turn 7, July 1939. In the actual turn, I had evacuated France with as many French troops as I could into Great Britain. But there's another option I could have done, and I'm going to show you what that option is here. I've already set up the board as though I had done it, and it's relatively simple. So there's an extra French transport in here that originated at this port here. It picked up an infantry from here, moved 1, 2, picked up a French Foreign Legion from here, and then using the movement bonus from its major port, moved 3 to here and dropped them off here. This British transport and fleet was originally down here, and it picked up an infantry from Transjordan and an infantry from East Africa, and went 1, 2, and dropped those 2 infantry off in there as well. Additionally, in order for this to work, I need to not be playing with the advanced carrier rules, and I think that this would be more valuable than just testing them out for funsies here. So what I've done is the aircraft that was on here has also moved 1, 2 to get to here, then 3 and 4 and landed in Alsace-Lorraine. All the French troops that evacuated Picardy into London and these transports, the 5 infantry and the artillery, instead have moved this way into Alsace-Lorraine. So I now have 2 infantry in there, plus the 5 additional French troops. And I had the option to move the troop that was here instead of having left him here so that it was harder to blitz. These forces are doing that, so that troop also got it in here. So there's currently 11 infantry, 2 artillery, British tactical bomber, French medium bomber, 1 militia, and 1 motorized infantry. So that's a lot of units. It's actually quite a bit more than what the Germans are able to bring in, even if they flew all their planes in. And then they wouldn't have enough units to either surround or take out Paris. All right. The other thing I did on Picardy's side, since all the French units moved there, we walked 2 across on this narrow crossing, non-combat. We're friendly on both sides. So 2 went across from London. Then 2 from London also got picked up in a transport and delivered there. And 2 more from the British Midlands, same thing. So there's 6 extra British infantry in here, plus an additional 5 French, so 11 infantry, 2 militia, 1 artillery from the capital, which is what I did last time, from Paris to there, and then a medium bomber from the British, the UK here is also added into Picardy. And since I'm not following the carrier rules, otherwise I can't get all these British planes in there. Right, I need to back up a little bit more. There we go. So one of the planes was on here, and it's gone 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the airbase in Paris, so it can scramble along with the other aircraft that started here. The carriers moved over into that sea zone with the fleet, though, to protect the transports. So it would have been able to move 1, 2, 3 in there, or a 1, 2, whatever. So I got 3 fighters in there, 2 British and 1 French. And we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking with the number of units that the the Germans have here, they're outnumbered by the French. And the number of units that Germany has over here, they are also outnumbered or at parity with the French. And the French are defending at a better rate than the Germans are attacking with most of their units. So if you were Germany, you would probably not attack this turn and you would build up a little bit more. So this is a sign of what can happen if Germany gets too aggressive, takes too many things too fast, doesn't spend enough time building itself up, and spends too much money on lend leases to somebody else. So yeah, Normally, I would usually wait one extra turn as Germany before I pull the trigger. That way, I just know that I have a whole pile there, and then I have another force that of tanks and mechs and planes or whatever else that can come in as a secondary attack in case I fail to make it through on my first one in my second impulse. But that's not going to be the case here. So Germany has not used its second impulse yet, so we'll see what happens. I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one just because you never really see anybody else trying this. And it is possible to do a heck of a lot of damage to the German units. The only problem is you're also doing a heck of a lot of damage to all these Allied units. I've just brought in 8 British infantry, 2 fighters, a medium bomber, and a tactical. That's pretty much the entire force that the British have available, except in the entire Mediterranean and the British Isles, except for they do have a few more units here. I think they'll be able to get a couple more units across using their transports in the next couple turns. But my goodness, London's going to be pretty empty, and so is all this if we just keep funneling everything in there. And Germany might just decide, you know what, France is such a hard nut, we'll just skip around that way. So it's going to take some planning on both sides here, because you are opening yourselves up for some craziness. So I think I might try this one out and see how it goes. If anybody's got any comments to the contrary or good reason why I shouldn't do this, actually, I don't think I'm doing this YouTube channel for my amusement, and hopefully so that you guys get something out of it. So I'm gonna just modify my last turn and play with this, just so you know. So that's gonna be what my new layout is. So I've described that. Also in Paris, I have 4 infantry, 1 militia, 2 British fighters, and a French fighter. Right. So the fleets for the French haven't moved yet, although they could technically start taking up convoy protection. Why not? Let's throw this handy dandy French destroyer. Let's put a battleship in that spot, just because you can, and I'm going to show you why it's worth doing that with a battleship. In the old game, when you put a battleship on convoy duty right here, it would cover both directions, the entire line, anywhere you hit. Now it only protects this one spot. So if you don't want to be attacked at 8 by a battleship as a sub, if you try to convoy this spot, you just convoy here and you get attacked by at a 4 by this destroyer. Easy enough. So, all right. So I'm going to grab one more escort chip there. Everybody's income is going to stay the same. Everything. I'm not buying any more units or changing the units I bought. I'm just changing the location that non-combats were moved in or not moved in. So the only things I've actually changed is these 2 planes off the light carriers. Units from British Midlands and London have moved in or there that were already alive at the start of last turn. Plus I've moved in units that were in the Mediterranean into here and I'm throwing them over because apparently they're drinking too much. And then the same thing with some British or some French stuff, since the British came in, just decided to beef up Alsace-Lorraine. So there you go. That's the plan. Hopefully it works out. And just giving you guys a little heads up, this is my modification from what I actually did last turn.